everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer, and today I feel like I'm really far away from the camera, but my chair is stuck. So I think I need to get my mat and flip it over so that my wheels, because I can't move it. Also, I wanted to show you my blanket, so we'll just stay back here, and hopefully you can hear me all right. Now, you guys remember my big ball sack right here? Well, there's balls in here, but they're low balls. And they're not the balls that were in here originally. Oh, well, there's a little bit. Alright, so I have some Premier Puzzle solids in white left over, which I guess we'll put over here in my scrap bin. I have some of the Premier Puzzle purple solids left over. I got a little tiny bit of gray left over from the blanket. I have some of the new yarns from Premier Yarns left over out of the box. Out of the entire box, this is all I have left. No, I didn't use one of them. I didn't use this one yet because I ordered enough of this to make a sweater. But aside from that, this is all I have left of that ball. So my box is empty with the exception of this. And I dropped that on the floor. Alright. What's in the bag? Crochet hooks, knitting needles. I've been doing all of the crafts this week. Well, I haven't spun anything. That's the one thing I have not done yet. And then, those are knit needles. I had a little bit of this left. This is what I have left from the blanket. That can go in the garbage pile. My ball sack is empty. Is empty. Because I used up both of my big giant balls. I used up, what did I do with the puzzle? I used all three of those of the new L by Me yarns from Premier. And then I used 2 balls of puzzle. Didn't I just have the other thing? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In the past 7 days. See, this is why I was so cocky and arrogant when I started the 7-day blanket challenge, because I knew, well, I know what I'm capable of doing. I know that I'm full well of making a blanket in 7 days. As a matter of fact, this blanket only took me 4.5 days. This whole blanket. Now, you guys see that I still have the wrap here that we made out of the... Snag that on my tripod. Boop. We got the wrap. Big giant wrap. We also have a whole blanket. Now, I'm going to show you. This is part of the big balls. I decided after this fiasco, in case you didn't watch that, where I failed miserably, I was making this as a blanket last week. And I was doing specialty stitches, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cruising. This was double the size it was when I realized that I'd screwed up royally and I had lost about 10 inches, give or take, between 6 and 10 inches. So my blanket was going like this. So I frogged it back till it was almost equal, almost even, and I made this big, beautiful, warm wrap. So that was last week though, and I already showed that. And because I knew that I had failed miserably at the blanket challenge, I started from scratch, and I knew that I did not want to chance it coming in again. So I started a center out blanket, and we just did a granny square, which is what I should have did to begin with. So I started with a granny square. Very simple granny square. Every once in a while I did a solid row, and then I did a bobble row, Then I did another bobble row. So I got 2 bobble rows. We got a couple of solid rows mixed in there, so it's not just straight granny square. And then I ran out of yarn, and I was happy about that. And then I was like, I kind of would like this blanket to be big enough to actually use and not just be a square big enough for like a toddler blanket or like a lap can. So I pulled out the puzzle yarn and I started doing a border. And the border is beautiful, and the purple and the white go really good with the purple gray that I held together here. And then I wanted to make it longer, so I made some granny, I did a little mathing, and I'm like, okay, so I had 29 rows this way. I should have went around one more time and made a 30th row so that it was equal. And then I think I did 5 row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 6 rows, which probably, well, that, my math isn't correct. Yeah, I did 6. 2, 3, 4, 5 times 6 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, 30. So I was an inch off. I was a row off. So on one of these sides, it was going out because I had a whole extra row on here that wasn't on the blanket. So, and I can't even see where I did it. Instead of doing the granny blocks on the edge, I did single crochet. It was this side. So there should be 2 rows of purple here, and it's 2 rows of purple, but it's a granny row and then a single crochet row. So that this side, because it was going out like that, just from that one row. So I fixed it by fudging it. So this is the blanket. This is the top. Isn't that beautiful? This is the leftover yarn from the main body, and then this is the puzzle solids. Oh, it was so nice to work with. I've been saving them for the right project. I wanted to make a blanket, and I just think it adds so much color and pizzazz to this blanket. So this is the blanket. Isn't it beautiful? And then the border goes all the way around with the purple and the white. I just think now I screwed up and went back too far. We're still stuck. Banana water. Squirted myself a little bit. And now I have a decent sized blanket that is perfect for me for chilling on the couch with. It's about, let's see, I'm going to say it's about a little over 5 feet wide. By almost 6 feet long. So it's almost square. Which I don't know how that happened, but I think it's beautiful. I love the colors together. I do not do I don't do blankets in all one color ever because it bores me to tears. The only way I was able to get through this is by changing up the stitches. So by doing a couple rows of like solid, and actually the popcorn stitches are on the other side, and doing some popcorn stitches randomly, and then this just makes the blanket. I'm gonna be real honest. So 7-day big ball projects done. I'm not working with big balls again for quite some time. Now I'm gonna pull my chair even more forward. Means I gotta get it off of the edge of that. There we go. Now we can talk turkey. Then, after I finished that blanket in 4.5 days, first of all, while I was working on the blanket, I knew I was damaging myself. I knew I was causing pain to my body, and I just muscled through because I wanted to be, I didn't want that blanket. I didn't want my collaboration with Kayla to end on a sour note. I didn't want to quit and walk away. I didn't want to deal with it, okay? I didn't want to feel like I failed. I didn't want to feel like I quit. So I muscled through, even through the pain, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this. And I did it and I accomplished it. I was in pain, but I kept stopping and doing my neck exercises. I look straight up, look to the sides, do the head rolls, which cracks a lot when I do that now because the chiropractor is making everything straight and normal. Look how tall I look. Chiropractor's fixing me, okay? I'm still having a lot of issues with my back. A lot. And I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. But I am taking a lot of steps to just maintain or fix and repair what I can. I'm doing a lot of just things to ensure that I don't cripple myself. And today, the recording of this video, which is Friday, I have been... This evening, it will be a full 48 hours that I have not taken Motrin or anything like that, which is the longest I've gone without taking Motrin in the past several weeks, which is pretty darn good. Now, when I finish the blanket, of course, I'm not going to sit still because my brain doesn't let me sit still. My hands don't let me sit still, so I'm like, all right, I really, really want to work with the new yarn from Premier Yarns. So I went and dug in my box and I grabbed, I knew that this one, which one's this one? The Odette. I knew the Odette was going to stay there. I knew I wasn't going to work on it because I want a sweater out of the Odette, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, this has alpaca in it. Actually, I think the Charlotte had alpaca in it too. I am allergic to alpaca. And what happens when I work with alpaca, because I usually hate working with alpaca. This yarn like drew me in though. I usually don't work with alpaca because even though alpaca is allegedly hypoallergenic, my nose does not like alpaca. It instantly will shut off, clamp down, start draining and leaking and doing all the things. Like my face allergies full on kick into effect. I will get the coughs and the thing happening. Hate that so much. So I avoid alpaca, and some alpacas are itchy to me and they make me feel icky, okay? None of these yarns made me feel like that. As a matter of fact, I want to make a sweater out of this. So that should tell you. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that is like me is going to be able to use this. But I'm saying I don't think I'm going to have a problem with this one because I think it feels nice. I will probably wear a tank top under my sweater. But that's just because my stomach is really, really sensitive. But yeah, my face is turning red. It's not rough. It's not butter soft. It feels hairy. But it's just nice. I want a sweater out of this. Someone said that they thought that this compared to, and I have some of it. I don't know. I think it's in my Christmas bucket. I have some, there's a yarn from Hirschner's that looks similar to this, but it doesn't have alpaca in it. It's like a brushed acrylic. I think it's Noel. I think it's Hirschner's Noel is similar to this, but the price is like not that much great. Like it's not a greater, I think it was like $2 something for a small ball of the Noel. And I actually made a Christmas stocking out of the Noel. And it's a beautiful yarn, and it's nice. And if you can't use alpaca, it is a good substitute for this. But this one's a little more luxurious, and the price is not bad on any of these. This one is $8.99. The Charlotte and the Orally is, I think, $6.99 or something like that, which is crazy for these types of yarns. Just crazy good prices. And that was one of the things that Premier Yarns was like really advertising, is that it's luxury, but it's affordable. Which I'm here for, because, I mean, now, you guys saw all of these in pictures and a little video clip it on all my social medias, but I haven't shown you any of it up close. So I'm going to show you what I made with the Premier Yarns Elle by me. Now, Elle is a fashion magazine, in case you don't know. It's a bougie fashion magazine. I ain't got no time for none of that, but this yarn is really nice. So what I started with is when I was doing the unboxing and I was looking at the card. Do I have the cards here? I think the cards are by my laptop in the computer, or by in the school, because I was using them for information when I was doing the information for the videos when I was uploading it. When I was flipping through the cards, it showed, now Premier Yarns released over 20 patterns for this new L by Me yarn. And a lot of them are crochet, which shocked me because usually when a yarn company's like, hey, here's a new bougie yarn, it's like knit, 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 which I can knit, that's fine. I knit a whole hat. I can knit. I prefer to crochet. I've said this 100 times. I prefer to crochet. Crochet's where it's at for me, you know? And so one of the things that they had on the cards was a beret. Now, I didn't see any of the patterns before the release of the yarn. So that was as surprising to me as it was to you, but the card had the beret, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make a beret. And I used the sparkly yarn. Turn that down a little bit so it's not so reflective. And Bentley is mad because he can't get in the room with me. I told you, and Isaac Mizrahi is the name of the designer. Premier Yarns had, and this is before I learned to crochet, okay? They had a deal with Isaac Mizrahi, and they released a whole line of yarns from Isaac Mizrahi, and it was kind of like this deal, where it was like this, they had this exact yarn, except it was a 4-weight instead of this is a 5-weight. And then they had, and I had a bunch of them because they went on clearance through Premier Yarns. And this is before I came along and came onto the picture, okay? Before I knew anything about Premier Yarns. They put a bunch of them in these packs that, and if you want to know anything about it, search Cinnamon Stitches and A. Seymour. You'll see the packs I'm talking about, okay? And you'll probably see the yarn I'm talking about. Because I would go to A. Seymour, they would have these mill end packs, and they would be filled with either 5 or 10 balls of yarn, and a lot of times it was either Universal or Rossetti or like the Universal name yarns, Fibra Natura, and then Premier Yarns. And it would be $10 for the bag, but they'd go on sale for $5. So I'd go in there and grab the good ones, you know, for $5. So I'd get 5 to 10 balls of yarn for $5. And the Isaac Mizrahi yarn, and I think it was a New York name or something, it was in that bag. And I bought 2 of them. I bought the silver, it was all silver, and then I bought I think it was all gold. And it was this yarn. And I made a big tree skirt for it, and I have the tree skirt somewhere. And it's beautiful. It's a heavy yarn though, so I knew I didn't want to use only that yarn in a beret because I just figured that it was going to be a little heavy. So I mixed it with the Charlotte, and the Charlotte is luxurious. It's so nice. It's so nice. Like, it felt good in my hands. So I made, this is just a granny beanie, or it's not a beanie, it's a beret. If you want to make a beret similar to this one, look for my, I think it's the blueberry beret. It was a Mary Maxim, I believe it was a Mary Maxim. It was during Mary Maxim week. It was my pattern, my tutorial, but I did it during Mary Maxim week. I think it was blueberry beret. Beret. Cinnamon Stitches. There you have it. And it's the blueberry beret tutorial. That's all I did. It's the same kind of idea. This is slightly different, but if you want to replicate that, go to the blueberry beret by Cinnamon Stitches tutorial. And I just did the center. I did with the Orally. I did a row of the Charlotte, a row of the Orally, and then 2 rows of the Charlotte, 2 rows of the Orally, and then 3 rows of the Charlotte. And this beret is so pretty. Like, it's just so, it's giving me vibes, dude. Like, I just love it. It's so pretty. And then once I finished this, I immediately went and found my crochet, or my knitting needles. I used 6.5 millimeter knitting needles. I cast on 72, I think. And I probably should have actually went less than that because this is a little on the big side. But I did 72. Let me see. Let me do my math. If you don't have a big head like me, I would cast on like 66 with a 6.5 millimeter hook. I did 1 by 1 rib, which the back side actually looks better than the front side, which is crazy to me. So that's the back side, that's the front side. And then I just crocheted in the round until the hat was about 8 inches, and then I did a quick decrease at the 6 points. This is the, I don't remember what color this was, but it was this one, and then I used the multi that they sent me with it. I just think this is so beautiful. Look at the fabric of that. I love the light muted colors, and these colors make me think of TL Yarn Crafts, like Tony. These are more her colors than they are mine, but oh my god, I love them. So we got the cute little beret, right? We got the cute little beanie. This is more of a, it's meant to be a slouch hat. I like slouchy hats better because I wear ponytails a lot. So I leave extra room in the back so you can wear it as a slouch hat. Or you fold up that beautiful brim and see the prettier side. Which is why I do my hat at 8 inches before I start a decrease. I just think this is the prettiest hat, and this yarn is so beautiful. It's so pretty to work with. So I knit that next, and because this is bulky weight yarn, this stuff worked up really fast. I did this and this in like 2 or 3 hours, and then it may have been a little longer than that, and then I started this, and this is just a bandana cowl. I did the entire bottom of the bandana part, and then I got to about here in the cowl part last night. And I woke up this morning and I finished the rest of the cowl before the yarn launch. And bandana cowls are not my thing at all. They never seem to lay right, or maybe I don't know how to wear them. But it's pretty. I mean, it looks really cute with my Halloween shirt, don't it? Boop. I think it's because I'm really big busted. I think it just lays kind of funky on me, and I don't know. But I think with the beret, like, it's a whole vibe. It's a whole look. And I feel fancy. So I didn't even go through the spiel on, it's Monday, and I show you on Mondays what I usually make in the past 7 days, but I think you guys have all been around long enough that you know that that's what happens on the channel. It's like I show you what I've been making for the past 7 days. I'm shocked at how much I got done, not just crocheting, because I feel like I was crocheting like an engine. I was just going. All of these yarns are bulky. Everything I worked with were fat yarns this week, and I think that contributed to it working faster. I also used a bigger hook than recommended for all of these, I think. Although the Charlotte recommended, where did I do the label? I think I threw it on the ground in the garbage pile. I think the Charlotte recommended a 9mm hook, and I used a 7 on all of these. But for the blanket, because I was holding 2 worsted weights together, I could have probably gotten away with a smaller hook, like an 8 or a 9, and I used a 10mm hook. And the Premier Puzzle also calls for like I think an 8mm, and I used a 10mm. That also made it grow faster. So I think that's why I was able to crochet so much, because I was using a big hook and fat yarn. But I'm surprised at how much I was able to crochet and knit this week. And I'm taking the weekend off. Like, I'm recording this Friday, you're seeing it Monday, but like Saturday and Sunday I'm not doing a whole lot of anything. I'm just chilling. I have some errands to run, but that's about all we're doing. I'm gonna rest my arms and my hands a lot, because I knew working on the blanket I overdid it. My elbow is killing me. My arms and my shoulders were hurting real bad. And I just kept going. I kept going. As you can tell, I'm tired. It's also the end of the day. I've already done all of the mommy things I need to do and wife things I need to do. I'm tired. It's the end of the day. But I couldn't help but put these beautiful yarns on the hooks and needles, because I knew that the yarn launch was coming, and I wasn't expect like Premier doesn't contact me and say, hey, can you do this yarn launch? They just send me the yarn and then I go with it, right? And so that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. I get excited, and it was a surprise to me that, why is this not closing? I'm trying to close my hook box. It's not closing. There we go. What was I saying? I wasn't expecting the box. I had no idea they were releasing these yarns. Like occasionally they'll be like, hey, I think they test me out to see like how much I can sell for them. I'm gonna be real honest. Hey, these yarns are releasing over the next month or two. They've done that a couple times. And then I won't hear nothing for a while, and that's fine. And then bam, a box shows up. And I wasn't expecting it, and it's been kind of quiet on my end from Premier Yarns, and that's fine. That's all fine. So when I saw the box, I was shocked. I was like, first of all, new yarn. Second of all, like fancy new yarn. Third of all, like I just wanted to play with this yarn immediately because it just looks so pretty. And these are not my colors. I would not buy these. I would not pick these out for myself, but oh my God, they're beautiful. Am I right? And this edging right here is the same yarn, the Aura Lee, that's in the beret, so this matches. And it's just so pretty. And these are not at all my colors, but they're so pretty. And I just feel like I look pretty in them. I've always looked good in like pinky rosy colors, but I just really like, I would not have picked these colors out for myself at all. And when I ordered more, I picked really bright colors because that's where my comfort is. Like, I love bright, shiny colors. You know, I love neons, fluorescence. Like, that's, I mean, you can see there's always pops of neon back there. So this is so outside of my what I would normally, my wheelhouse. I just couldn't wait to work on it, though. I'm like, I just need to. And then when I saw this, now you know Cinnamon Stitches does not do neutrals. I don't. I love this, and it just reminds me of my mom. My mom had a mohair sweater when I was a little kid. I hated the way it felt, and I wouldn't touch her when she was wearing it because I don't like mohair, makes me so itchy. And she loved this stupid mohair sweater. Oh my God, it's mohair. And she walked around and pranced in it, but she wore it at Christmas time, and that's what this reminds me of, is like a Christmas sweater. And I really want to make myself a sweater for Christmas. I want to wear it on Christmas Day, and I want to be beautiful and sparkly. Because what you can't see on the website and what you can barely see here is this is really, really sparkly. And you can only see it when I hold it up close to you. And the website does not do this yarn justice. So I ordered enough of this very plain oatmeal color because I need to have a sweater in it. It's called muslin, I think. Yeah. Just like the cream. I don't know. The creams are getting me. I think this would be a beautiful sweater too. I just love the way these yarns feel. And I know some of you are really mad because they're wools, but like, I love wool. I love wool. And I used to hate wool. And then I learned what good wool felt like. And then I was like, wait a minute, I kind of love wool. Like, I really, really love wool. I just love good wool. The soft stuff, you know? All right, so on Monday, I usually show you an update of what we've been doing, what I've been making, what yarn I've been using. But now I want to talk to you about personal, like what is going on in my personal life. Homeschooling is going fantastic. It's going way better than I could have even imagined. I have talked to a couple people in passing, and a lot of people feel the way that I used to feel, where they're unsure about homeschool. They think maybe homeschool is not the best thing, and like homeschool is probably subpar education, and like there's so many false things about homeschool that I myself believed. And now I'm sitting over here like, I think I made the best choice for my family and my child. And I can't see sending him back to public school after what I'm learning from him and this whole experience, because he is flourishing in a way I could not have predicted. And it's not just the schooling he's flourishing in, which he absolutely is. He is turning into a different person, a calmer, kinder person. And it's amazing to see. And I started to realize how hard school actually was on him, because I started to realize when he was in public school and he would come home, he was mean and angry and aggressive. And it's because he had a really hard day at school, because it is dang near impossible to get him, or any ADHD kid like that, to sit still, be quiet, focus on your work. Like, there's so many things that I have solutions for him that the schools can't do for him or won't do for him, that the fidget toys only go so far. Like, when you're getting yelled at constantly to stop moving from other kids, like, and these are things he's experienced. He had a kid stab him with a pencil because he wouldn't stop twitching his feet. He can't. He doesn't stop twitching his feet in his sleep. Like, he moves all night long. He can talk through class. He can talk all day to me if he wants. We can have a whole conversation while we're doing our homework together, right? He doesn't have to shrink himself into a container he doesn't fit into. He can just be Lucas, and he can be happy and loud if he wants, because I don't care, I'm loud. We can listen to music while we're doing class. If he needs to get up, go get up. You don't have to ask me. Like, come right back though. And then if he feels like he needs a 15-minute break, we set a timer, we both walk away. We go do something else, and then we come back, and he never complains about it. He just comes back and goes back to his work. He's happier, he's kinder, he's calmer. When I ask for help, he tells me no, because, like, I fully believe he has ODD. Like, he just right off the bat, the answer is always no. And I think that's just like his brain settings. And then we do it together anyway. Like, he helps me. He vacuumed the living room the other day. He's been taking out the garbage without too much complaining. Like, he tells me no, and then he does it. And then he unloaded the dishwasher for his sister the other day. These are all very uncharacteristic things for him. And a lot of the behavioral issues I was having with him are non-existent, because he's not overstimulated from school. He's not exhausted from trying to conform in school. He's not stressed out. He's not being ridiculed and beaten on a daily basis. He's just a happier kid. Like, it is the craziest. And if anybody is thinking that they might want to homeschool because their kid has special needs, go for it. It's not always going to be easy. It's not, but oh my God, it made a huge difference. It made a huge difference. And we're what? We're a whole month in. We've been doing this since September. We're a whole month and a half in, and I have no regrets. I would not turn back. So with that being said, homeschooling's going well. Last week, I'm still having a lot of pain in my back, in my legs, and my arms, because the pinched nerves in my neck affect my arms really bad, and the pinched nerve in my pelvic region affects my entire right leg, like, severely. It's numb from the knee down, and there's a lot of pain, mostly in my leg and my hip. And so I'm still dealing with the pain on a daily basis. However, I am finding ways to do things differently and trying to manage it differently. So I crocheted all this last week. I homeschooled all last week, and I'm telling you, I felt like a freaking queen, because I made cabbage rolls last week. I I showed Juju how to make hot apples, which is, she went to the apple orchard with her boyfriend and she wanted to make hot apples, and I walked her through it. She made them. They looked beautiful and delicious. I didn't have any, but because they got sugar in them. Like I made meals like most of the week last week. We all had a nice dinner. Like I just felt like I was on top of the world last week. Like I was doing stuff and I accomplished so much. It's little stuff. It's I cook dinner every day. I know that's simple to some people, but when you're in pain like that and you're doing so many other things and you're being pulled in all those directions, the simple thing of just cooking dinner is a big deal. Especially when both of my guys in there are looking like ragamuffins because I can't stand long enough to cut their hair. And they need a haircut. They're like a month past needing a haircut. And they refuse to go to the salon. Like, go to the barber and get a haircut so I don't have to do it. But I think I'm going to have Juju cut their hair for me because I'm tired of looking at them. They look like ragamuffins. But I don't know. I just feel like I accomplished a lot, and accomplishing those things while dealing with the chronic pain it's an accomplishment to me, and I'm proud of myself. And I'm gonna break my arm, pat myself on the back. So with that, tonight after I'm done uploading this video, we are going to King's Dominion. We're going to Halloween Haunt. We're gonna go to all the haunted houses. Me and Mr. Cinnamon chipped in together. We have season passes. We pay monthly, so it's only like $7, $8 a month, but we chipped in together to get front of the line passes for us and for boyfriend. And we're gonna go and we're gonna do all the haunted houses. The kids are gonna have fun. I told Mr. Cinnamon at any point where if I feel like I just can't go any further, I'm gonna have to find someplace comfortable and just sit down and I like doing that anyway. My favorite thing to do at Halloween Haunt at King's Dominion is to sit. There is a bench right outside the Snoopy store, and the Snoopy land in King's Dominion is like the safe zone. Like there's nothing going on back there. Like it's dark. You're not actually supposed to be back there because like nothing's going on. There's no haunted houses. There's no creepy guys out there, you know. And if you need a break from the constant haunts and screaming and all that stuff, you can go sit in Snoopy land. And there's a store right on the edge of Snoopy land, and there's always like there's a pathway right here where just like goblins and ghouls and stuff are out there screaming and scaring people. I like to sit on that bench and just people watch and just watch the people running and screaming and acting a fool, because like young people often go to King's Dominion by themselves, like teenagers, and they're always terrified and they're hugging on each other and screaming, and like it's just funny. I like watching them. I like watching other people be scared. Haunted houses have not scared me since I was like a little kid, because I've been going to haunted houses since I was little. My mom took me to a haunted house when she was still carrying me. Like I remember it because it was traumatic. I was screaming and pulling and trying to climb back into her body. I remember it vividly, and it was just animatronics like popping out at you. It was one of those haunted houses like in the trailers, the truck trailers. I remember it. I was probably all of 2 years old. And after that, my aunt Laura took me to a lot of haunted houses, like when I was like young teens, like 11 to 13. And then I had friends from 13 to after I met Mr. Cinnamon. I had this friend Tara. She loves haunted houses. She loves Halloween. Like me and her would go every year. Her parents would take us to a bunch of haunted houses around the area. We would get our little Fear Finder magazine and like line up the ones we could afford and which ones were close that her mom and dad would take us to. They liked them too. So they liked taking us. And so we would go. I just have really good memories of haunted houses. But I went to a haunted house in 2001 with Mr. Cinnamon. I think it was 2001 with Mr. Cinnamon and Tara. And I haven't talked to Tara in years and years and years. And then we didn't go back to a haunted house again until like 3 years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago. So I went, 15 years, something like that, where I didn't It had to be longer than 15 years. Let's see, 2000. 3 years ago would have been 2001, right? So 21 years I didn't go to a haunted house. I don't think for... It was like 21 years. That is crazy to think about. And then we went, and Lucas was like 6 or 7. And he'd never been. And so I was like, I wasn't sure how he would react. He's not scared at all at haunted houses. He takes the lead and like leads us through the haunted house. It's really cool. And Juju gets a little scared. My niece Hermione gets terrified. But I just really like doing that with my family. It's so much fun going and watching other people get scared, because they don't scare me. Like, I see, and this is what is really stupid about the way my brain works, okay? Disney World, those characters are real, okay? Mickey is real, Stitch is real, Tigger is real. The characters of Disney are real, but when I see characters in a haunted house, like, they're just people and they're trying to scare me. And a lot of times, I have a really good witch cackle. Like, I can cackle a really evil witch cackle, and I've been able to do it since I was a little girl. And so I will go into... Little man is outside the door. I will go to a dark spot in King's Dominion where, like, there's not a lot going on, and I will just do the witch cackle from the dark and scare the crap out of people walking through the tunnels. And I do it because it's funny. And Mr. Cinnamon says every year, he goes, you need to get a job at King's Dominion. I was like, yeah, I probably should, because that would be hilarious. I would love scaring people. I'd be a really good scare actor. And we went, the first year we went with, like I said, it was like, what, 2001 or something like that. We went with Juju and her little friends. Trying to remember when that was, but I did the witch cackle and her friend Peter Pants, like, she was so scared. And she turned around, she's all, stop that, and I just laughed. I said, sorry. It was funny though. I feel like it was longer than 3 years ago. I don't remember. Some of the OG cinnamon buns will remember. Anyway, I have been talking 45 minutes almost. I'm going to let you guys go so that I can get this uploaded so we can go about our business. Juju is at work, so we're going to meet Juju and her boyfriend at her work. He's getting dropped off there, and then we're going to head out, and then we have to take him home. So we have a really late night going tonight, but we're going to have a good time. We're going to have to figure out someplace me and Juju can eat while we're out. Grab something to eat for everybody. See, the boys are easy because boyfriend, although one of the things I really like about boyfriend is he is so respectful of the gluten thing. He will not eat gluten in front of Juju at all because he thinks it's unfair to her. Whereas Mr. Cinnamon absolutely eats it in front of me. Like, some of my favorite foods he'll eat right in front of me. Boyfriend does not do that, and so he tends to try to be gluten-free when he's with us. And I told him, I was like, you can eat whatever you want because gluten-free stuff is more expensive and I'm paying for you. And so we ordered him pasta the other day because he's Italian and he just really likes pasta. But it was kind of funny. So we gotta figure out what we all can eat tonight because King's Dominion is not good for gluten-free food. So we probably gotta stop and get something on the way out so that we all have something to eat. Otherwise, I'll get a whole lot of, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And Juju has not eaten at all today, and she will not have eaten until 6 o'clock tonight because she gets so nervous about work still. She gets really bad anxiety. She won't eat before dinner, and I'm like, or before work. And I was like, girl, one day you're gonna pass out because you haven't eaten. You have to eat. If you gotta get up extra early to eat, and so that you feel like you don't have stomach issues before work, so be it. It's not healthy to do that. Anyway, with that, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Hopefully my weekend went fantastic. And hopefully my pain levels continue to drop from my back issues. I'm going to keep going to the chiropractor and keep working on whatever I need to work on to heal up my body as best I can. And with that, I have no idea what this week holds. I know that I ordered some of this delicious yarn from Premier Yarns. but I don't know how long that's going to take to ship out. I'm looking at probably 2 weeks for that. So I don't think that'll be here this week. And then I'm supposed to do the knitted knockers. By the way, Premier Yarns sent me a coupon code for knitted knockers. If you guys want to make knitted knockers with me next week, or this week, excuse me. She said the cottons, what is it? Afternoon cotton and cotton fair from Premier Yarns are 2 yarns that are approved for the knitted knockers, she said. And she said, she gave me a coupon code. If you guys want to buy yarn for the knitted knockers, let me find the email. 20% off afternoon cotton and bamboo fair, which are 2 bamboo fair. I think the cotton fair was too. But she said they're offering 20% off the afternoon cotton and the bamboo fair with the code knitted knockers, all one word. There's the coupon code right there, knitted knockers. And you can get 20% off the afternoon cotton and the bamboo fair. And 10% of the proceeds from afternoon cotton and bamboo fair sales, 10% of the proceeds from those 2 yarns will be donated to knitted knockers through the month. So I don't know if you guys knew that. Premier Yarns sent me that because they heard that I was going to do the knitted knockers, and so I don't have the colors needed that they require. They want skin tone colors. I have white, and I have blue kobu, so I don't actually have the yarn to make the knitted knockers in the proper color. So we're probably going to do them in white. I also have purple. They said you can do other colors, but they have a lot of restrictions because we'll talk about that on the knitted knockers episode, but they have a lot of restrictions of types of yarn you can use, colors of yarns they prefer you to use, how to stuff them, all that, etc. And so we'll talk about all that in the tutorial for the knitted knockers. I'm not just doing knitted knockers though. I'm also going to do like a booby pillow, like just boobies, because I think they're funny. And if you're not into boobs, if you think boobs are like, you're just too conservative for boobs, you can skip that video, but I am making booby pillows because I think they're funny. And I'm thinking, do I want to do like a flat round disc pillow? But no, I think I want them to actually look like Hooters. So that's going to be another tutorial. That's just going to be just for fun. So we're going to have 2 boob videos coming up. We're going to do some knitted knockers and we're going to do a pillow. And I think the pillow, I'm going to use a big fat yarn, possibly Premier Yarns puzzle yarn, because I had pink up there. We can do pink boobies with red nipples. You can cover the nipples. It's all right. You can put a bathing suit top on your pillow. It'll be fine. We're doing that just for funsies. And like I said, if that offends you, I'm not trying to offend anybody. To me, it's not a big deal, you know. I have breastfed both of my children, and my boobs have been out in public a lot because, like, you just kind of have to do that when you breastfeed your children, especially when you travel as much as I do. So to me, it's like it's not taboo. It's not, oh my God, they're boobs. They're just boobs. They're just boobs. You know, it's just another part of my body. It's the same flesh that's hanging off my stomach. It's the same flesh that's going on right here. You know. Anyway, with that, we're doing that to raise a little bit of awareness because I had the mammogram at the beginning of the month for breast cancer, and for all of the people who have. And there's a lot of you on my subscriber list that have dealt with breast cancer in one form or another. And so I'm doing it for them. And I'm doing it for, I'm doing it for myself. So with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.